Today, real estate commissions, New Zealand's Canary. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics, one that is posts covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian and New Zealand perspective. Well, in last night's Rant, property insider Edwin Almedia and I discussed the pressure on real estate agents from lower sales volumes and prices, and how some agents were seeking other jobs or even considering quitting the industry. One that you put as well about listing inquiries, right? Because the point is that the inquiries are down, the transaction throughput is down, and that's going to put a huge pressure on agents, isn't it?
Well, that's right. And this is what we spoke about last week, and this is what I'm saying. And they will do whatever it takes. They will buy the listing in order to get it on the market. So they'll do whatever it takes to get the listing and to get the sale to make the commission. Otherwise, they're in a lot of strife because of low listing numbers, which means low sales numbers.
And last week you showed us this one. I just want to recap, right? So, this is typical, right? There are lots and lots of offices in a relatively small area. So there are lots of people quite desperate to try and actually make a sale happen. And so, they'll do pretty much anything they can to try and actually to get that sale.
This is 4 suburbs, right? That encompass one postcode in the Shire.
Yep.
This is just 4 suburbs, right? And they've got roughly 30 selling agents.
Yep.
Right, in 4 postcodes. Now, in that, I think I mentioned last week, I'm not sure whether I did, but there's the agent tells me there, that my mate tells me there, that there's 10,000 homes in those 4 postcodes, right? And they've currently have 27 listings on market. So what does that tell? That people, agents are starving.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He himself wanted to retire, but he can't retire. He's prolonged his retirement.
Well, New Zealand has been leading the trends compared to Australia for some time around property, and the downturn in the housing market is estimated to have pushed real estate agency commissions down by almost $250 million in the fourth quarter of last year, compared to the same period of 2021 when the markets were still booming. Interest.co.nz estimates that the industry earned about 470 million New Zealand dollars in gross residential sales commissions in the fourth quarter of last year. That's down $235 million, or 36%, compared to the 652 million estimated to have earned in the fourth quarter of 2021. The annual figures tell a similar story. Interest.co.nz estimates that the industry earned around $1.6 billion in gross residential sales commissions last year, down 32%, or $470 million, compared to 2021. While those numbers suggest the industry may have had to endure a fair amount of belt tightening last year, taking a longer-term view suggests the figures may not be as bad as they appear at first glance. In fact, a graph showing estimated gross commissions earned by the industry each quarter since the beginning of 2017 shows that commission levels were reasonably steady, with fairly consistent seasonal variations from the beginning of 2017 to the first quarter of 2020. Then they dropped away hugely in the second quarter of 2020 as pandemic restrictions were introduced, before surging dramatically from the third quarter of 2020 to the fourth quarter of 2021 as the Reserve Bank pushed mortgage interest rates down to historic lows. But as mortgage rates started to rise and the housing market cooled last year, commission levels also began to fall. Although that fall has been dramatic compared to commission levels in 2021 and the second half of 2020, the total commissions have only fallen back to pre-pandemic levels. In that regard, the surge in commissions that occurred during the 18-month housing market boom from the third quarter 2020 to the fourth quarter 21 could be seen as an anomaly, with total commission levels now returning to more normal levels. However, there's also been a change in the makeup of commissions. Industry commission levels are determined by both the number of properties being sold and the prices being achieved. REINZ figures suggest that the number of residential properties sold last year were down about 18% compared to 2019, and although the median selling price was declining last year, it was still $162,000 higher at the end of 2022 than it was at the end of 2019. The numbers show that although total commission levels have dropped back to pre-pandemic levels, that is mainly being driven by lower sales volumes rather than falling prices. So the average size of commission is still likely higher than it was pre-pandemic, but there are fewer commissions to go around, which suggests some agents will be doing it tougher than others with fewer sales and fewer commissions than there were pre-pandemic. I think that sums up pretty well, and we're certainly seeing the same trends here in Australia because total sales volumes are dropping quite considerably, and prices, of course, are also easing. And generally, estate agents are having to work longer and harder to try and shift properties, but also potentially makes them more likely to represent or maybe misrepresent properties to try and get a sale. So there's a lot going on here below the waterline, which, of course, is just more than the standard commissions being paid. The bottom line is this: many real estate agents are going to find it really tough over the next few months, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more leaving the industry in the months ahead. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.